What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Pandas with me, Robert, and Cobson Whittlemaker. How's it going, Carson?
Good. Going good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Actually, you know what's crazy? So this has nothing to do with AOS, but if you're new here, this is kind of how we roll. It's off the cuff. So you were on AOS Coach talking about ogres, which does have to do with AOS. And so shout outs to Coach. I didn't know you were going to be. I think you told me you were going to be on there, but I just forgot because it was like you record it like you don't record it like the day before it comes out, obviously.
No.
So
no, it was like a couple weeks ago.
Right? Yeah, I think you mentioned it. But so that was really cool. It's really good. Check it out. I started watching the FEC one as well, but I just didn't have time, so I got like 12 minutes in, and then I had to go. Even though that's more pertinent information for me. But I was going to mention last week, but I forgot because of all the chaos and whatnot. But Shinobi came out, Art of Vengeance, and that's like the game I was looking forward to. One of the most for the whole year, because I didn't know Silksong was going to come out like a week later. But it's amazing. So if anyone was interested in that, it takes a giant dump on Ninja Gaiden, and it's beautiful, and it's almost perfect. Like, it's literally almost perfect. It's absolutely amazing. Lizard Cube, I think, is the developer or whatever. They're the people who did Streets of Rage 4, like the remake, whatever. They're kind of good at that. So anyway, so a lot. There's like so much like little bits of news and rumors and whatever. So we're going to be jumping around quite a bit. But first, there is the rumor engine. This is a Wood Elf Spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so clear cut.
It's so like, cause I've painted a bunch of these, like actual Wood Elf Spears. And this is a Wood Elf Spear. It's got like that Celtic-y, leaf shaped blade. Yeah, this is a Wood Elf Spear. Like, I don't feel like hopefully it's like some kind of Kurnothi thing. But we're getting like a lot of that stuff. But so where do we go from here? Okay, like this is clearly like, do we even need to talk about it anymore? I feel like we don't, and there's like a lot of stuff to get into.
If anyone has any more specifics in the chat, please let us know what you think it is. But
new Eternal Guard.
Yeah, this is like it's got to be some sort of like Sylvaneth update of some kind.
Right.
Can't see it not being that.
Or like Wood Elf Old World, but like they just got like one of the most recent releases though. They came out with Beastmen, so it's like if they were gonna do that, then why didn't they do it then? You know. So yeah,
possibly, yeah.
I don't know, but not a warden. It could be a warden. It could be like it looks a lot like what's his name, Aronoth, Araloth. He was called the Nomad Prince for a while. Like, I mean, all of them, they all have the same, leaf-shaped blade. So, what's up? Well, welcome to everyone. Thanks for joining us. Qual, Tom, Razor, Fonzie, Carson. He's in the chat too. Devin, what up? Yep. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So, Carson just got back from Northern Wastes. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why it took me a second. It took me a second because I'm really tired. And sometimes I get loopy and weird. So if you guys notice, like, I feel like I have more energy tonight, it's really because it's the opposite. Oh, you're saying Warden's like that. Gotcha. You mean like Lumineth. No, I don't think so. I think they have like a longer, thinner. I mean, anyway, I said what I said. It could be Lumineth for sure, but like, I think this is something Wood Elfy related. How was the tournament, Carbson?
It was great. Yeah, I think it's my favorite venue that I've ever been to because it is literally a curling rink. So
that's sick.
One of the biggest problems of the tournament is like temperature regulation, I think, where you get a room full of like 50 people and you're dying of heat exhaustion essentially. Yeah,
but they got to keep the ice cool.
Yeah, so it's like it's just the concrete, but like you're playing in a curling rink.
No, I understand, but like when there's ice there, they have to keep it cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be crazy if they were like, no, you're playing on the ice because we can't be bothered. Like, bring your curling shoes. It's like, we don't have those just because we're Canadian. Like, what do you expect?
No, but yeah, fantastic venue. Huge shout out to Damon and Roma, the dudes of Sigmar. If you haven't heard of them already, go check out their podcast. But they hosted.
Aren't you supposed to be in a
our
feud with them?
nemesis, Damon and Roma from Dudes of Sigmar, were horrible because they hosted us for 3 nights in a row at their home, feeding us barbecue and other delicious foods and having a good time in general. And there's a nice fireplace and stuff like that. It was really great. I mean, it was terrible. But
right.
So don't not shout out to them.
Yeah.
You can't find them. Don't check out their podcast.
The Dudes of Sigmar podcast.
The Dudes of Sigmar podcast, definitely do not go check them out.
Okay.
And they definitely didn't just release an episode today or yesterday as well. But the tournament was great. Like overall, I don't have any complaints or anything like that. I ended up going 4-1. My last game was against Matthias,
Top table?
That was on the top table.
So how many KO players did you play? Just 2?
That weekend, just 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played Michael, who we talked about on stream last week, which was the 99 balloons list.
Yep.
And that was like a punchy game. I think I killed like 47 dwarves in 1 turn in the first turn or something like that, and I was just like, this is how I beat it. Like,
what the hell? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get to pick who went first?
Well, yeah, because he had like 1 billion drops.
So. Oh, right. Yeah, that was the crazy list. I see. So did you choose to take the first turn and then just slap the No. Okay, interesting.
No, I pretty much just like stayed back and hid.
Oh, in the castle and like in the trees and whatnot.
Yeah, and so he sent like 1 thing into me, which allowed me to kill something on his turn, like just like a 5-man unit. But that allowed me to get like one of the buffs for the Slaughtermaster, so that next turn I could give them +1 attack, like a unit of gluttons, and then I managed to get the spell off for +1 attack as well. So I had gluttons on 6 attacks, just run into the center of 4 units and just go meow, and then Iron Guts went in and then killed 2 more units of 10, and it just like it was a nightmare.
Not
so
as
I'm
much
sorry,
for
Michael.
You.
I'm sorry for calling your list filth and then just running over it.
You don't take it back though.
No, I don't.
No, okay, good.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then I had a bunch of other games. I played against Dale. I played against Bud from Party at the All Points, which was really cool. He's a great guy. And I played against a new fella named Adrian, and then I also played Matthias in round 5. So Matthias and I were kind of just like running over our opponents until we finally met at the end, and then Matthias ran over me. So, yeah,
with his filth.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I did some thinking on it, and like we talked about it a bit, and there was like a couple key things where I could have stayed in that game, but essentially what he did is he just crossed the table turn 1 and killed just pinned me in my deployment and killed a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, well, that's that. But I think, and the insulting part was that because I outdropped him, I had a reroll. And then I just rolled a 6 for the prio from going 1 into 2. I'm almost max scored turn 1. I was actually up on points going into turn 2. But he also rolled a 6 for the prio. And then just and he's like, I keep the turn order. And I was like, cool. But basically, I think what it came down to was that if I had like piled in slightly differently and tagged one of his boats, and then the double actually did happen for me, then he would have probably needed to double me back just to win.
Wow.
So close in that aspect, not close score-wise. But yeah, it was still a good game. I scraped as hard as I could. I scored 3 out of 6 tactics, despite basically being tabled like turn 2.
Damn.
So yeah, not bad. So Matthias got best general, and then I also got best overall. Yet another horn.
Damn. Those things are... I mean, are they the coolest trophies in all of Age of Sigmar tournaments? Yes.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I seriously, I can't think of a cooler one. Like, I know there's a lot of cool ones. Like, obviously, if you get something like the Slayer Sword for Crystal Brush, or, you know what I mean? Like a Golden Demon or something like that. It's a little different kind of category anyway. but I don't know. Viking Horn, they're practical. You know,
They're pretty sweet.
they're really
And
cool.
then at the end, they were also, I can't remember who it was, but some lady was walking around with like a big cardboard box of like dice bags that she had crocheted.
Okay.
And I got this awesome dice bag.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it was super, super great. There's a bunch of other parts to the tournament too. Like I know Desmond, who always does the art for their posters and stuff,
Yeah.
had like a poster for almost every single faction lined up on the walls, and then there's just a silent auction going on the entire time.
Damn.
So
That's sick, man.
I don't know who. Go ahead.
I'm jealous of all of that. That sounds. Desmond's an amazing artist. We know personally how good he is, for reasons that'll hopefully soon be disclosed. But no, he's amazing. He's really good. So I'm very jealous. I would have loved to have like bid for the Skaven one, or yeah, even some of the other ones. But
Yeah, absolutely.
is that the one that are those the ones that were like really colorful? They're like kind of like vertical.
No,
Okay.
They seem new to me. Like
He did something like a year or two ago. He did something similar, but like it was like anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, these were like big like normal sized posters with like the factions, each character on them. I don't know who outbid me for the Ogres, but I will find you because it was a silent auction. I was just like,
oh
damn.
no, oh man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know Kenrick managed to get the Nurgle one with a very generous payment, which definitely makes sense that he got it. And I don't know if anyone else from Warp Dice got theirs, but I put in a bid for $75 for the poster, and someone outbid me. So
wow.
Yeah, at least the artist is getting more support. Like that's the positive part of that.
Desmond's
the negative
amazing.
Part is I will find you and I will take that poster.
I will kill you. Yeah.
That's the unfortunate thing is you put out a hit on yourself.
Yeah, that's yep, absolutely. Man, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to see Sigmar Scotty in person. He was wearing a Saga of Dice shirt. I made sure. So he was very gracious in giving, I think it was Michael DeLong or whoever was like tied for first with him. He gave his 10 dice to him instead. He's like, I think he deserved it. And so I was like, you know what? I have a ton of meat dice. I'm just going to also give Scotty 10 dice so that both of you can get it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
But yeah, it's great talking to him. Great talking to everyone there. I see Jesse in the chat.
Wound markers.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Jesse in the chat. He scared the crap out of me and John.
Okay.
After the first night, because John and I were like, it was like 11 p.m. and we were like walking up the stairs of the motel to get to our room.
Yeah.
And then we just see like a guy like pop his head out of the of his room.
Yeah.
And they go like, shouldn't you guys be in bed? And I was just like, yeah, we're just walking upstairs. Like it's fine. And then he's just like, it's me, Jesse. And I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like, he had his glasses off. I didn't recognize him. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not getting stabbed. That's good.
Oh man. Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm super jealous, especially of who I didn't even know that auction was going on, or I would have like put my hat into the ring for sure. I mean, there's no way I probably would have got the Skaven one. Like, I don't think I could probably afford it for what, but you never know. Maybe I'd get lucky. Skaven are popular though, so it's hard to like. I'm surprised you didn't get the Ogre one, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. The Beast of Chaos one was really good too. It was just like a goat in like a spotlight, essentially.
Oh yeah? Oh man, that's cool. Dang it! I want to just even see them. Did he put them on his Instagram? I basically
I'm not sure.
Hardly ever go on there. So.
Yeah, I was hesitant to like take pictures and share just because I know that there's like weird stuff about.
Oh
you know, like an artist art online.
Yeah,
and,
AI and all that crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But they are really pretty. Trust me.
I'll message Desmond later because I'm sure he'll at least just show me where, you know what I mean, what the Skaven one was
exactly.
like. Awesome. Okay, so there's still a lot to talk about. I guess we'll talk about. Why don't we do the predictions next?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's kind of been this like series of articles going on for like the 10-year anniversary of Age of Sigmar. And last week on Wednesday, they said that this week presumably on Wednesday, there's going to be like more about what's to come in Age of Sigmar. And to me, and I think a lot of other people interpret it as well, that means that we're getting a new roadmap,
So
essentially.
I didn't interpret it that way, like because like I said to you, you were like, maybe we could talk about the roadmap, and I was like, there's a roadmap coming, and then you quoted the thing at me, and I'd read this whole article because it's all about lore. It's all about like what's been going on since the Vermin Doom. And so I was just like reading it for the lore. And then at the end here, it says, what the future holds is anyone's guess. Dozens of factions are in play, and there is fear that a new age of chaos is dawning with the rise of the Skaven and the movement of the Hellsmiths of Hashut. We'll be taking a peek into the future with a final article next week about what may be coming for the mortal realms. Because this whole thing was about lore, I just assumed that it was like showing what's going to come in the future of the lore of Age of Sigmar. But I want both of those things, to be honest. Like, I would love some kind of hint at like, what's coming. But then I think like ultimately like the lore can wait until we get the actual lore. Like if we're a lore preview, it doesn't seem like something as like that they would do. So I think you might be right. And that's just exciting in general. So how are we going to do this? This is your idea. What are we?
Yeah, I think like a really safe thing to do would be like, let's guess based on how many factions were shown in the last roadmap.
Yeah,
a number of factions that we think will be shown in this roadmap.
That's a great idea because they're like they did like what's going on right now, and then coming like next up, and then coming soon, and then coming after that. So let's see, it was like the thing that's like out right now, and then there was like 2 factions that are like on deck next, right? And then there was 2 factions coming like after that, and then there was 3 factions like in the distant future, black and white, right? I think I have that right. Okay. Although, yeah.
So I'm seeing. So okay, so the roadmap shared as of 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Was what's coming next?
Yeah.
Is IDK and Nighthaunt.
Uh-huh.
On the horizon, and then it just showed the 3 images.
Oh, okay.
And then it said the future, and then it showed like the evil glaring eyes, which ended up being Hashut.
Right.
So we know that Hashut is coming out.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be.
I think
I guess that could
next.
be what's coming next.
Yeah, I think that's what's coming next.
Yeah. So that would probably be like, what's coming next?
Hashut. Yeah.
So we know that that's one. So basically, they've given us like 6 factions. Like that's kind of the number there.
Okay. Yep.
So we know that Hashut is what's coming next, or we presume Hashut is what's coming next.
Right.
We've just now seen, and this ties into what's it called? Like upcoming rumors. We've just now seen rumors of like Ogre refresh.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's on the horizon kind of thing.
Right.
Just after making the title of this video, I was also DM'd that the same person who did the Ogre leaks and was like verified by White Fang, I think it was, that they're accurate.
Uh-huh.
That same person also just did a Nurgle leak.
Right.
For stuff. We don't know exactly if that's going to be coming super soon, but I'd be surprised if we got a leak like that and it was super far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing those 3 factions are like safe to lock in for like close on the horizon. So basically Hashut that we know, Ogres and Nurgle. Those are like the 3 big ones. Well,
and doesn't the cities rumor have, or doesn't the Nurgle rumor have cities as well?
Yeah, exactly. Cities of Sigmar versus Megakin Bucks. So we think that those are probably the 4 of the 6 armies that are going to be coming.
So why don't we like put those down? Because like we can't, like at this point, it's not like we're predicting anything. It's just like we're just kind of going by, you know what I mean? Like sure, like not only like are the rumors enticing, but like you in particular want to believe the Ogre rumors, like so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to kind of accept that at sort of face value, and then so then how many should we add to like the future? Like, should we add 3?
I think 2 is pretty safe because I think that like we can kind of, I think it's fine to just like extrapolate on like the rumors that we're hearing and be like, okay, this is probably what are going to be the next 4.
Right.
And then taking educated guesses on 2 makes sense. And I think anything more than that feels like a little bit too much of a crapshoot.
Well,
It's like,
why don't we do 2 each, and we'll try not to overlap.
sure.
Or yeah, like we'll go 1 and 1, and then we're not allowed to pick the one that the other one picked, and then that way it adds a little bit more meat, as it were, because yep, that was for you.
Can't say that. You cannot say that.
Get your spam and then talk to me.
Yeah. Okay. So, and if anyone in the chat has like any guesses for those like remaining 2 factions, please let us know.
Yeah.
And support your claims with potential evidence / reasoning.
Yeah. Even if it's tinfoil hatty reasoning, we're here for it. Like, one of my favorite claims ever, I think it was Asri, was just like, all the books are coming out in 1 year. And I was saying like I swung for the fences too, and I was like, Ogre refresh within 1 year. And it looks like I'm going to be slightly off of that, and I'm actually kind of pissed about it. But like I swung for the fences with that, and I didn't miss by that much. It looks like if these rumors are to be believed, and they're not like so. Yeah, so there's this guy called White Fang who's been doing like rumors since AOS 1. Like, he's literally been doing this since AOS 1. And he used to be, actually it doesn't matter, but so it seems pretty reliable. Okay. Who's going first?
So we're doing 1 for 1.
We're doing 1 and 1, yeah.
I'll take the first one.
I like it because that way I can't pick it either, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think that an Order faction makes sense.
Yep.
Just because there's so many of them. And the ones that we listed, what is that? Hashut is chaos, Ogres is destruction, Nurgle's chaos, and cities is order. So that I guess that's 1 and 4.
But
that's
like,
the correct ratio, but
the
there's more order
too,
armies.
Is like 3 out of the 4 death factions have already come out.
Yeah. So pretty unlikely it's OVR, I think.
And everything except for ogres and giants has come out too. So ogres does seem likely, but I can't imagine I don't think now's the time to predict OBR or even probably giants.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I think my first guess is probably going to be Daughters of Cain.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Yeah, because we've seen a couple rumor engines that are just like, this is like dark elfy. It's like a little bit like Malarion-esque, and I could see them 100%. Instead of doing a new faction, just like this is now part of Daughters of Cain. So I think that's my first guess.
I like it. My first guess. Do you want to extrapolate on that at all anymore? Just
nope.
that? Okay.
Nope.
My first guess, and it's for the same reasons, but it's also wishful thinking. It's like, second, third-ish favorite army is Seraphon. We've seen like the Saurus Guard looking stuff way like over a year ago, I think, at this point. I'm pretty sure it was before AOS 4. So we've seen a lot of like little things like that, like tails and random sort of bits and pieces, and it makes sense to me. Also, like, the other thing that I noticed too is that we seem to be getting stuff that came later. A lot of it is coming earlier. Like Flesh Eater Courts was last, and Flesh Eater Courts already came out. So I think and now's kind of a good time for Seraphon. I think that would make sense. So yeah, that's my prediction. Same reason as you. I think we're going to get new Saurus Guard, obviously. And then, hopefully 1 or 2 other cool things. Hopefully it's a little more meaty than the IDK one, the IDK release. I want something a little bit more,
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
then
now, are we going to chaos, or are we gonna stick? Because order has way more than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many more factions that need to be made up as well.
Right.
But I do think I'm actually going to hedge my bets.
Okay.
And say Slaanesh It's one of them.
Ooh,
And the
really?
reason for that is because I see a lot of overlap in like the cloaks and stuff that you might see for like Umbraneth or like Dark Elves or something like that.
Oh, that's
It'd
true.
be kind of like a fancy Slanesh looking thing, and it's just like not there. Maybe they weren't super obvious with the rumor engines that we saw,
Right.
so I could see that it being that instead. I don't think it's both Slanesh and Daughters, but I think it's probably one of the two. So,
They go well together though.
yep,
Like if this whole dual box thing is to be believed, then they could be in a box together and it would make total sense. You know, I like that a lot. I am going to we've gotten corn, right? We've gotten slaves to darkness, right? We're hearing Nurgle, and you're saying Slanesh, so I'm gonna
and we
hedge the
have Skaven.
bets. And we have Skaven already. Yeah, they came out first off the top, right? So I'm gonna go Titsnitch here, because I feel like we're gonna get something chaos. So then that way, you know what I mean? Like if you're not right with Slanesh, then theoretically, Croak is the man. He's pretty dope.
Entire Croak army sounds horrible.
Just an army of Croaks. It's just dead frogs all the way down. A new Croak kit is not coming. Guys, it just came out in Forgotten Realms, which is at the end of AOS 2. That kit is like, what? Like 4 years old, roughly? So, yeah. And also, it's one of the coolest sculpts they've ever made, so probably not getting a new one of those. I would love to see a new dinosaur. I would love to see like a Stegosaurus type thing, like some kind of like I had this idea like where the plates are like they've got like little Aztec-y things that ring the plates, and then it's like a mobile like shield battery of some kind, almost like a Protoss pylon that goes around and I don't know does stuff. But there was like someone was predicting. This is like 7 years ago during AOS 2 when Seraphon were rumored to be getting like a re-release that they didn't get. We just got terrain and stuff. But someone was predicting like a Brontosaurus that's like a style, you know, Brachiosaurus style dinosaur that like is like a carrier. It's like a transport or whatever. And I don't. That's not what I want. But it was bold and kind of cool. Like I thought that was a, fun idea. But yeah, a giant pterodactyl. God dang it, Fonzie. Yes, that would be awesome. Like a named character, just giant. Oh, god dang it, Fonzie. Yeah, that's what I want now. I might want that even more than my Stegosaurus idea. Damn it. Damn it all. A long neck dinosaur, yeah, that or a ducky, yeah, or like what's the Pachycephalosaurus? Just like a big boneheaded ramming into stuff. It's got like, you know what I mean? Like at a certain point, like Rend isn't really about cutting. It's like more about just like going through armor. So it has like Rend 5 or something like that because it's just like this giant ball of it's like a giant mace on its head. Similar to the size of the turtle. Damn it. Stop it, Fonzie. I didn't think about a cool pterodactyl model. Oh, that would be so awesome. Bring back the goofy named Seraphon characters. I'd be down for that too. Tic-tac-toe and yeah. Great stuff. Absolutely. I'd be down for that. Oxyotl. He's like a anti-pimple lizard,
Oh yeah.
Are you too? Okay, I wasn't sure you're too young for that. Okay. Any other predictions?
No, I think it's hard. Like, I really don't think we're going to see anything other than just like faction preview stuff.
Right.
So, because that's what it was last time too, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, well, I wonder what like if they do the exact same format, what do you think would be the faction that's like that in the future thing that they did with Hashut?
I mean, like again, I'm just gonna like completely speak to what I want, and that would be Kurnothi. Like Kurnothi is what I thought Hashut was. I thought that was Kurnoth. or Kurnoth or whatever they're going to call him. Or I guess it would be Kurnoth in Age of Sigmar. But like it's all green and emeraldy looking. Like that could have been like the eyes of a tree man, totally, you know. But people quickly figured out that it was Hashut. So Hashut. Like that. Yeah, so okay. By the way, did anyone slan on Brachiosaurus? God dang it, that'd be so sick. Like what did they call him? Slack, I think his name was Mazdamundi was riding him. He's like a giant stegodon. Kurnothi being revealed with a bunch of purple smoke and dark figures. Yeah, exactly. It's like the inversion. Yes, that's true. Pterosaurs aren't technically dinosaurs. That's true. But neither is like the Dimetrodon spawn of Chotek. You know, none of like the flying dinosaurs are, you know, that we call dinosaurs. So Mosasaur, like none of those things are. But it's all in the hips, baby, as they used to say in Happy Gilmore. It's all in the hips.
That's true.
Yep. Wise words. Okay. So should we go into, okay, have you, let's make sure we're not, oh yeah, thoughts for Fire Slayers is interesting. They are an Order army. They desperately, like it's like one of the all-time most needed like refresh expansions they've ever made. Like people keep thinking that they're going to just squash the army.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really dislike playing against them just because they're so samey on the table. I'm like, literally, what is that? Like, and I know that people do that for ogres too, but at least there's less of them. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they're like, yeah, expansion for Fire Slayers, and then it's just another like naked what do you call it?
Like no.
Like, what? It's like when they release like a new Idoneth foot hero, and you're just like, God dang it! Like you had too many of these off the hop. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Matt in the chat says silent people love their teasers in White Dwarfs and Underworlds.
Oh,
that would be cool. I really don't think we're gonna see it until like 5th edition though. Probably.
I think I'm hoping that they're so like I was talking about this with Beefy. So they're because we talked about it before, and then he was saying that they're like a death faction because it's definitely going to be a death faction for AOS 5. Like they followed this pattern perfectly every time, right? But they were said to be a destruction faction back in the day. But Beefy said, no, he heard that they were, they were a death faction, right? So, yeah, if they are in fact a death faction, but like I remember when before AOS 3 came out, everyone was like Silent Ones because they're a destruction faction. So I don't know. Like, I'd be interested to hear what people had heard, but I'm hoping that like they might even be like a 6th edition. Like Silent People's like that's a major expansion. Although like we did get Hellsmiths of Hashut like in the middle of an edition, and they're a brand new army. We used to get a lot more of that in AOS 1, and then like gradually, you know, as they can't have too many factions, obviously, or they might get squashed. Rest in peace.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing too. Like the more factions they add, the less they can pay attention to each individual faction, and the harder it is to balance. So
yep, that's true.
It's got to stop at some point. Like
it does. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So like when they release something, you want it to be good, you know? Although 40K though, like they haven't squashed any factions for 40K.
When's the last time they added a new faction to 40K though? Other than I guess there's Votan, but
Votan was in 9th edition, or at the end of 9th edition. No, they had World Eaters.
Okay.
I mean, like you could say that they're like basically just Chaos Space Marines. But then it makes even less sense though to add them from that point of view. You know what I mean? It's like we're getting less bang. That's what I'm talking about though. If they're going to add a faction, it needs to be more interesting, more unusual, more creative, because like otherwise what's the point? You know? Like like at some point they might do like chaos sigmarines. They might do back in the day. Everyone's from the beginning, or not from the beginning, but like early on, because Nagash was such a like a major villain, nemesis of Sigmar, that the rumor was for a long time that they were going to be like death cast Eternals, like they were going to be like death or whatever, because like he's not getting any of those souls, right? So yeah, I don't know. Ogres worse than Fire Slayers? For what unit is that? Not me, but like to each their own. I think like, I think it's like, I mean, like the worst one is probably like regular Space Marines in 40K, because there's so many things, or like, and Stormcast is pretty bad too, because especially because of the names and stuff like that. You're just like, what on earth? Like, which guy with a hammer is this? Yeah, it's crazy, right?
All the knights and lords and
yeah,
quester.
Well, and like,
yeah, it's just like stop.
Did they ever retire Retributors, like the guys with the big hammers from AOS 1?
I think so.
Okay, but then we also like, because we have the new ones that are other guys with big hammers. So like, yeah, I don't know. Emperor's Children, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But like, they weren't their own faction. They were like I guess they were kind of existed, because they're like a sub faction within Chaos Space Marines. But like, again, that makes less sense to me. By the way, welcome Arthur. Thanks for joining us. Shout outs to Richmond Reroll. Anyway, so like truly new faction, yeah, I guess Votan, and then you had like you had Knights and Chaos Knights before that, and then Admech was a big deal. Yeah, and that was late 7th edition, I want to say. So I don't know. I actually feel that those Chaos Space Marine factions count, because we're talking about resources. We're talking about like codices, whatever you want to call it, and then like models and support and rules. Like that's what we're really talking about, right? And so, like I think anyway, I don't know. Like the main argument against it for AOS though, I think, is probably just the fact that like it doesn't sell as well as 40K, And we were getting like all that sweet love in the early like AOS 1 edition, days, but yeah. Do you think ogres might get expelled from AOS? Definitely not.
Nope.
Don't be stressed, Frederick. Welcome, by the way.
Probably a good segue into.
Yeah. So like, rest assured. Which one is which? I want to make sure I get the right one. Okay, there we go. So we got a spoiler, rumor engine, or what do you call it? Like leak, supposed like leak of some kind.
Like a leak.
And then this guy White Fang, who's literally been like leaking stuff since AOS 1, and I'm not joking. Like I've known about this guy since AOS 1, and he gave the thumbs up to this leak list. So actually, why don't you read it out, Carson? This is your one true love.
I will.
Okay, good.
I'm going to savor it. It's going to be great. So this, I mean, always take this with a grain of salt. But
absolutely. Yeah.
White Fang, the person themselves, pretty much accurately predicted all of the Skaven stuff.
I mean,
like,
he's
very specifically.
He's literally been predicting stuff since AOS 1. Like literally like saying stuff like IDK, Daughters, everything that's come out, he's predicted. So
So
again, grain of salt.
Without further ado, for ogres, we are getting supposedly 3 unique heroes. One of them is going to be a unique tyrant, which is actually a monster that says it's the daughter of Glob Glittermaw.
Okay.
I assume that's just like a spiritual successor to what that is essentially.
Oh, okay.
Glob Glittermaw is. Let's actually take a look at that. Something I forgot to do. Oops. Glob Glittermaw is. I think it's just like one of the fantasy ogres.
Okay.
Like big like throne ogre essentially.
Oh, cool.
But anyone in the chat knows more, please let us know. And then apparently, supposedly, there's a new unique butcher, which is a war machine. I have a feeling that this is going to be more like Slaughtermaster. Like someone brought up that, like, it would be weird for a butcher to be a war machine. That seems kind of odd, unless it's like a mobile kitchen of some kind, like a food truck. But,
you said that on AOS Coach's thing, and I was like, mobile kitchen is the most godlike thing I've ever heard of. I hope that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's got like little wheels, and it's got like a little oven. You know what I mean? And like a pot, and like a little sous chef station. Yeah. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So that's the other unique hero. Then the third one is a unique man-eater, which is a female man-eater's war master, which is pretty cool. If you aren't familiar, man-eaters are like the mercenary ogres that kind of go around, and that's why they all have like different weird outfits.
Yeah.
They're like ninjas and stuff like that. It's very odd. Yeah, pirates. Yeah.
Man, that was so creative.
So we've got, it says new hunters, plural, which is kind of weird because it says RIP Icebrow Hunter at the bottom. I assume new hunters is like literally a new type of hunter of some kind.
Okay.
But maybe that's a hero. Maybe that's like some kind of like ranged unit of some kind. It's very weird that they would do that, because like the hunters that exist right now are the Icebrow Hunter, the Bloodpelt Hunter, and the, I guess, Man Trapper.
Right.
Is the thing now. However, Bloodpelt Hunter is brand new.
Yeah.
And Man Trapper is not brand new, but like Underworld's model, we haven't seen those get like randomly squatted. Like either they, like we haven't seen them get replaced, rather.
Right.
So I'm assuming what this means is not new Icebrow Hunter, because it says RIP Icebrow Hunter at the bottom there.
Right.
Which means it's probably just gone. I'm assuming it means that there's some new type of unit that's like Ogre Hunters, essentially, like Beastclaw Raider Hunters,
right,
that are going around and doing stuff. So, which would be cool. Could be completely wrong about that, but yeah.
Well, it does sound like the kind of thing that might be like one of those 3-man squads, like the elite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
They're a big fan of those lately.
Yeah. So I think Leviticus says, I would assume hunters are probably a replacement for lead belcher. Yeah, I think I was thinking the same thing, because it's like
that's
they're going to a lot more like crossbow or like primitive technology, as opposed to just like exactly like instead of just like big cannons and stuff, despite supposedly the Iron Blaster not getting squatted. And then it says new Mournfangs, which I'm personally in support of, because I've gotten very close to those kits and they are quite ugly, but it's surprising. So it's like a cavalry refresh.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, because like they don't feel very old at all. But I guess, are they from the fantasy days? Oh shoot.
Yep. Everything Ogres has is from fantasy, except for the Tyrant, the Bloodpelt Hunter, and the Terrain.
Oh.
And the Gorgers. And
wow.
Yeah.
So the Mammoth and all that stuff was from fantasy?
Yep.
Wow. Huh.
Then it says new butchers, plural, which I think is just like refreshed butcher and slaughtermaster.
Right.
So that makes sense.
That'd be cool.
A new tyrant is kind of weird.
That's super weird. Like
the tyrant is a new model.
It came out in AOS 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's interesting though is it says
it came out like
at
2019.
At the bottom it says RIP Tyrant 2019.
Yeah.
But then it says new tyrant at the top there.
Yeah.
Which kind of kills the logic of my new hunters being a hero, actual unit instead of a hero, because Icebrow Hunter's there as well for RIP.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I could see them getting I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, new tyrant, old tyrant gone. Really weird. New Ogre Gluttons. I kind of expected that. New Iron Guts.
Iron Guts, yeah.
Which will be really cool. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
Tad in the chat says Ogre Kingdom's got big additions and refresh before the end times. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Ogres is one of the oldest army, the oldest ranges in the game at the moment.
Now. Because we keep getting new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just says more fatty things, which makes me think that there definitely is more to come instead of just the stuff that's specifically mentioned here. So it seems like a pretty substantial refresh. And then it says RIP Icebrow Hunter. That was expected, I think.
Right.
Cross Sabers are gone. Firebelly and the Sun Eaters, that sort of stuff is gone as well.
That makes total sense, right?
Yeah. I wish they would have expanded the Sun Eater side of the faction because I think it's just cool, but I understand why they didn't. Icefall Yeti's gone, Blood Belcher's gone, Great Maw Pot is gone, which means it'll just be the Maw Pit now. So no more weird choice of terrain.
The Maw Pot is cool though. Like
it is cool. I like the Maw Pit better. It's a much cooler model.
Oh, it looks way cooler. It's huge, but it looks amazing. But I like the flavor. Get it? Maw Pot. Anyway, I do like having the I mean, I've never played them before, but I just think it's cool that you got an option. It's like more space for them to play in. But there's like a few things why I think that this list is real. Why I actually believe this. Like, I'm talking outside of White Fang. You know what I mean? One is that the RIP Tyrant 2019. Like, if you're going to create something and try and make everyone fall for it, make it believable, you're not going to put that there because it's such a new model. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is weird.
Like, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, this list is bullshit because we just got the Tyrant, so there's no way they're replacing the Tyrant. But like, the old Grey Seer on foot wasn't that old, and then we got a new one in this edition. So that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here you can take at face value, like just like new models, maybe like the new characters and stuff like that. And then there's some things that you can extrapolate so that it says unique man-eater, so a female man-eater's Wars Master, and then it doesn't say RIP man-eaters in there. And it does say and more fatty things as a sentence, which makes me think that they're also going to be redoing man-eaters, and it just wasn't specifically called out in this list.
Right.
Because it wasn't specifically called out as being gone, and we know that there's a man-eater
unique
general.
Monster.
Yeah,
yeah. Or huh.
So I think it's safe to say that man-eaters will get refreshed in some way because they're fine cast kit. There's no way they stick around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either they're squatted or they get.
We did say that about Night Runners. They're plastic, but we're like, well, obviously these are getting squatted.
Yeah.
And here we are.
But I mean, it's plastic as opposed to fine cast.
That's the difference, for sure. Yeah, there's no way that they still exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that you can definitely extrapolate from this. It definitely, I'm just really curious to see, like, there's so much that could be in that sentence and more fatty things.
It's
like
true.
It could be anything.
But even like if you look at just this, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 unique heroes. And then 2 new units. And then more than that.
Refresh,
so
yeah.
4 to 5 new units, straight up units, and then a new Tyrant, and we don't know about Butchers, right?
Yeah. So 3 uniques, and then new Hunters, new Mournfangs, new Butchers, which would be 2 actually.
Yeah.
New Tyrant, Gluttons, and Iron Guts. That's already 10 kits at the minimum.
That's crazy.
And I think probably 11 because of man-eaters.
Right.
So, or not kits, War Scrolls.
Oh, right, War Scrolls, right. So it's like some of this could be a dual kit.
Yeah.
Like, because like having that many is actually what made me nervous almost about it not being real, because it's like that's so many. Like, how many did Seraphon get when we got our refresh? Let me see if I can. But does this? By the way, so like while I'm looking this up, what do you think about this? Like, is this like, if this is real, does this make you happy, or would you rather go a slightly different way? Like,
I think ultimately it's for the best. I think that the main things that ogres were missing were like big centerpiece things.
Yep.
Big centerpiece like buff pieces and like a cool war machine. I definitely think that despite how easy it is to paint the old ogre kits, like they needed to be refreshed.
Yep.
So I'm in support of it. I think it's cool. I like it a lot. The Divicus also brings up a good point that it could be a fairly large change to aesthetics. Hopefully not to skinny ogre aesthetics, but one thing to note is that the old tyrant was the same proportions as the old ogres, roughly, right? Like very kind of stubby, chunky, pretty fat sort of thing.
Right.
Whereas you see like the gorgers, they're like lanky and weird, and like they're still huge, but they're like weird cave dwelling monsters.
Uh-huh.
And then the new Bloodpelt Hunter is like this little guy. Like he's a little bit different, a little bit weirder. And then another thing too is you could say like the Cities of Sigmar Ogre Warhulk is like
Well, and I
huge
always
and
thought
skinny.
that those were supposed to be like more of like a hybrid, like
It is, but
Right.
it's still like in the direction of more like normal proportions, I
Yeah.
guess. So I could see them being like, okay, Tyrant doesn't fit with what we already have.
right. But then
So we're gonna get
but they're
rid of
not
them
going to
and
get rid
replace
of the stone horn and that kind of thing, and they're
or the Iron Blaster.
or the iron blaster. Yeah, exactly.
And one key thing to note,
Oh, maybe they're going
Is
to
that-
try and have a variety of body sizes.
yeah,
Add more variety.
yeah. And one key thing to note is that Noblars are nowhere on this list either.
Noblars, that's true.
Yeah.
Ooh, are you nervous about that?
Yes.
Yeah, because you need chaff, right?
Please get rid of that kit.
Oh,
Sorry, please.
oh.
And actually,
please,
I
please
said the wrong-
replace it.
Yeah, please replace it.
Yeah,
would be a
because
big
like
thing.
it doesn't say rip on here.
No, it doesn't. So they might be getting replaced. It could be.
What
so
if
the old Noblars were like they came out of blocks of 20, but you also got Noblars like with whenever you bought like Lead Belchers, Iron Guts, or Gluttons or whatever.
Yeah.
So it could be a similar thing where you kind of construct it, but I doubt it. Like they probably would want to just have like a full-on unit.
Well, and what if the Noblars that come with Hellsmiths is a dual kit used in both factions? I don't think so. I think they really seem to be obsessed with like figuring out like what the sales numbers are on each faction now.
Yeah.
But they are coming out after the Hellsmiths, presumably.
Yeah.
So-
It's yeah.
but you got to have some chaff, right? In the army.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
really hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, they could change the identity of the army too,
Yep.
where the
That's true.
chaff is like maybe not completely necessary, but yeah, we'll see.
Because like I looked up the Seraphon one, and I've forgotten now exactly how many kits it was, but it was like 9 or 10. So this would be more than that if they're all kits. Now, some of them like could be like the unique man-eater could be like some kind of dual kit with a tyrant or something possibly. But or like the gluttons could maybe be a dual kit with like iron guts or something, but I don't think that they will be. So it's like that's a lot of stuff. Like from what I understand, Seraphon's one of their best-selling armies. Like just full stop. It's literally one of the best-selling armies they have. So it would be impressive, and I hope it's true. Like I hope we're getting that many. I mean, I don't know. Like the list just feels too real to me, though. Like if you're trying to piss people off and be one of those weirdo attention getters on the internet, you're probably going to pick stuff that people will believe, so more people believe it, and you kind of get because whatever jollies you presumably get out of that whole thing, it doesn't really work if everyone's going, this list is bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Carson's use of Hobgrots has confused Rob into thinking that's what Noblars really look like. Well, yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I know what they look like but like barely, because Alex, like, because I've been playing against Alex's ogres longer than yours. And he used the halfling Blood Bowl team. And so like I always thought they looked like humans at first, and then I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked them up way back in the day, and I know that they're supposed to look like goblins, but yeah. Anyone who doesn't play dinosaurs is wrong. That's objectively true. Eric's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, overall, very interesting list. Very excited to see if it's true.
Oh.
And RIP all of our wallets. What's up?
Yes, your wallet. Haha. For once, it's not me. It's not, they didn't tap directly into my brain for exactly what I wanted. Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. Ledivicus pointed it out, but I didn't notice it in time before I read his second message. Hellsmiths don't have Noblars, they have Hobgrots. They're all the same, though. Like, god dang it, how many kinds of goblins am I supposed to pay attention to? That's crazy. But you're right. I'll come up with my apology video on Friday. So, it's not just this. Just before the show went live, like literally like what, 3 minutes before or something, Carson's like, I also have this other leak, supposedly. So no, did White Fang approve of this one before we go into it? Don't know.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
from the same person
Oh, interesting. Okay.
that
Okay.
White Fang approved of.
Ooh, interesting.
This one's like less. So take this one with even more of a grain of salt.
Way more for sure. Yeah, because this wasn't officially approved of. So this could be like a poison leak meant for that one person who leaked the other stuff, or who knows. The weirdest part about this whole thing is Cities of Sigmar versus Maggotkin of Nurgle. It's like the implication here, I guess, is that we're going back to like a dual box.
Yeah, which hasn't happened this edition yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened since like what, third? Yeah, third.
Third. Yeah.
Yeah, and like at a certain point in third, we stopped doing it, and a lot of this seems weird, right? Because like Pestigor Shaman, Realmgore Ritualist, but Nurgle, like I don't know, it doesn't seem to make sense. Blood Reavers, but Nurgle? Blood Warriors, but Nurgle? Rocket Trogoths, but Nurgle? Like, what even is this? You know?
It's a little odd that it's using this terminology instead of
Yeah.
like what the ogres were doing. And this is also a huge refresh.
And, like, they got a huge refresh in, what was it, early 2019? I want to say. Like, huge Christmas reveal. Now, I think Nurgle is quite popular. I think it's one of the more popular, what do you call it? Like, Chaos factions. But, like, Zeech needs one way more than Nurgle does. Like, the Zeech refresh happened in, like, what? Like, Fantasy? I want to say. There was a couple of new kits, I think, in, like, AOS 1. But, like, I think the Lord of Change came out before any of that stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, and I get that Nurgle are popular, but, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is... The more we read that... So, yeah, we're showing this just because, like, it was sent to us.
Same guy, yeah.
Supposedly the same guy. But I'm starting to have doubts about it. Just because, like, actually, even the language has changed, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like on the first one, it was talking about just like replacing things and like what would be changed and stuff like that. But
Right.
this one is like making direct comparisons to other armies instead of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's because Ogres is mostly a refresh versus this seems like a bunch of additions, like a range expansion.
It's true, and
Weird.
but the other problem with this too is that, like, if they're going to go back, if they're going back to Nurgle, then I feel like they're going to like refresh like the demons as well, right? Because that goes for 40K, and the demons are kind of like the biggest problem, I think. Like the pox, what are they called? Walkers, bringers, little guys.
Yep.
Yeah, like they're super old and ugly, like. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if... What do you guys think? What do you think in the comments section? Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It also says refresh Putrid Blight Kings, which like...
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
They just got that in 2019.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
mean, Tyrant, but the Tyrant was 2019. But like, I
but
doubt
that's
that they
a
would refresh.
that's a hero though, not like a kit. And like
Yeah,
that's a big hefty kit. There's no way. I mean, you make a good point about the tyrant, but we haven't even seen like the tyrant is true anyway. Like that's not confirmed.
yeah. This seems more like a wish list.
It does.
Like, imagine Blood Reavers, but they're Nurgle.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine Trogs, but they're Nurgle.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine if wouldn't it be cool if they brought Pestigors back, and then they
yeah.
have to have a Pestigor hero too, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
imagine they had like Blood Warriors, but they're Nurgle. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, rock gut Trogoths, but imagine if they were Nurgle.
yeah, and imagine everything was heavy plate armor because that's sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Nurgle Chaos Chosen.
This is like something that they designed like you know it's not even from Games Workshop. It's like something someone made for like a 3D printer, like STL files or whatever. Or like,
Yeah.
oh, this is sick.
Yeah,
What a great refresh they're getting. Hey guys, I don't know. It feels like a fantasy player's suggestion for AOS. It does. Nurgle rock guts, unkillable, and move 2 inches. Yeah. But there was one which there was a wish list from a podcast. It still got shared around as leaks for weeks. Huh. It sounds like my Christmas list of Santa in 5th grade. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. This doesn't seem as likely the more I look at it either.
yeah. Take all of these with a grain of salt, but I take this one with like a
Yeah.
full-on salt lick,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Just a pound of salt.
Yeah.
This
lot.
one isn't even like table salt. It's like driveway salt for like defrosting your driveway or whatever. Yeah. The sidewalk.
Okay, well, I guess that's a nothing burger.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who knows? Like maybe like in the future it's like, oh shoot, and like we see some interesting things, but yeah. So okay. What were the other things? There were so many like little things to talk about that we were going to bring up. Yo, thanks, Big Ron. Thanks for being a member. Agree with first. This is too much Nurgle. Christmas second is fake. Wait, what? Too much Nurgle. Christmas second is fake. I remember like the first time that Nurgle got like a major refresh was we got like the announcement on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So maybe I'm not sure what he's talking about, but maybe that's something to do with it.
Yeah, possibly. The other stuff we were going to talk about tonight, though, was there were 2 new War Scrolls released. One of which was for Seraphon, and one of which was for Ogres.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
The Man Trapper and the what's it called? Sunblood something?
Oh, yes, that was the other thing. Right. Sorry, Eric sent me a message, and he said, I can't hear anything you guys are saying because I'm at work. I'm just naming random dinosaurs in the chat. Sick. Okay. Well, speaking of ogres, then, why don't you talk about ogres?
Can do. Just gonna answer a question in the chat. Damien Elvidge says, "Sorry if I missed it already, but how did Carson find playing the KO at weekend? I think it's his first loss in 20." You are correct. I was on a 19 game tournament win streak, and then Matthias ended it like a jerk, and then KO is interesting. Like how many times have I played KO now in tournaments? I played twice at Richmond Reroll, right? And twice at Richmond Reroll and twice at Northern Waste. So 4 times, and the 4th time was the one that did it. And it was basically like at some point Matthias realized that the way to play is essentially doing like the pre-game move and then just like whipping everything at you turn one. The unfortunate thing is that there wasn't like a good forest for me to sit in my deployment. So it was like one of the biggest ways that you can kind of fight against KO is that you need like a -1 to hit, right? As soon as they like throw everything at you. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to cross the table. They're going to shoot off all of your screens and stuff like that. And then the frigate is going to charge and then give strike first, like the Sky Wardens or Brock. And then basically you're going to be hit by like 12 Sky Wardens on +1 attack with fight first. And then Brock's going to hit you also. And it's just a horrible time. I think the way you just really have to be extremely protective about that situation happening. So like you just need to like insulate as much as possible so that if someone's going to alpha strike you, it's at the very least really risky for them to do so. And the issue was just that on deployment, it was really hard for me to do that against him because he can just whip his boat 18 inches across the table and kill me. So yeah, it was a tough game. There's like a couple things I could have done better, but even at the start, I was like, this is not going to be good based on just like looking at the map and the terrain and stuff like that. I was like, I need to be able to like sit in wholly in a piece of woods to be able to get -1 to hit. And I think that's kind of a testament to just like, it does need an adjustment. Like you shouldn't be able to have like that level of shooting and that level of speed and that level of melee and that level of tankiness. It's just like something's got to give, and it's probably going to be points. So
I haven't even played them yet. It doesn't concern me. Don't take this as some kind of indictment against them. As usual, I'm usually happy to take your sort of opinion on the highest level of competitive balance. But, you know, I've gotten a lot of messages and talked to a couple people in person that I didn't bring it up because I haven't even played the new KO. But a lot of people are really hating playing against them, actually. Really hating playing against them. And, like, I think the issue is that it just goes back to, like, the game should be balanced at like at the highest level of competitive play, but I think it's arguably like more important to just make sure that there aren't any like, you know, like, I don't know, like extremely, like, I don't know, like it just feels like you can probably just like alpha strike people's whole armies, and that's not really fun to play against when you have to be like that cagey and that, otherwise you're just going to lose your whole army. It seems kind of, you know, and no one's saying they're unbeatable, by the way. Carson won his first game against what looked like an extremely difficult list. You were able to do it, you know what I mean? But you're obviously a very good player. You were typically in the top 10 list worldwide for players, so like I don't feel like people should really be needing to, you know, have that level of skill to kind of, you know, get through a game against KO. It does seem like they're probably gonna go up in the September balance update.
Yeah, it just feels a lot like the Slaves to Darkness problem, where it's just like,
yeah,
crazy hyper aggression is being rewarded, and
right.
I think that like there needs to be, like, you can't have it be that like crossing the table and tabling someone's army is like a 90% chance success rate,
Yeah.
right? In turn one, like there's got to be some back and forth to the game. There's got to be some like give of some kind.
Yeah.
So I think there's probably something coming. Like I experienced it as a Slaves to Darkness player. So
you experienced the other side of things, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it just feels like, I mean, I don't know. There's no like emotions to be brought into it, I guess. But it's just like it's not permanent, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like it's going to be fixed,
Right.
like, and it's probably going to be something that seems like it's maybe not enough at first, but
interesting.
That tends to be like what they do is just little tweaks to like bring it back a little bit. Like remember with Slaves to Darkness, everyone was like, oh, they're just gonna get pounded in the next battle scroll, and then they just changed this Lanesh mark to be like, roll 2d or roll 3d6, pick the two highest instead of a 3d6 charge. And then they did a little bit of points adjustments, and that was pretty much it. And it ended up being okay. Like Slaves to Darkness are actually probably in lower tier armies now.
This isn't 1-to-1, but I do have a pushback against that. The Khorne Army of Renown. Because personally, I felt like they maybe went too far with that. Thoughts?
They did. Oh, you mean the...
Yeah,
I agree.
Gorchosen.
I agree.
And we were saying, too, like, we were saying, like, this is going to get adjusted. It feels bad. It has a crazy high win rate, all this other jazz, right? But we don't want them to go too far. And then I feel like they went a little too far.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Like, I think like a 5-up ward would have still been okay. But
yeah.
Do you think that they panicked because of like all the tournaments and stuff that were like just banning the army of Renown?
I think no, the thing about the change is that if they had made it a 5-up ward and made all the changes that happened, I think that would have been adequate. So it's just like one thing different.
Yeah, that's true. But like we've kind of always said that we think that they should err on the side of not nerfing enough. Like do smaller incremental changes. We've always said that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. Eric. T-Rex.
Yes, yeah. Eric. Can someone like reply to him and just put like Dilophosaurus or something? Rob says Dilophosaurus. Pachycephalosaurus. Damn it. I already brought that one up, Eric. Jeez.
Quoll says, I feel like I'm on the BlizzCon stage here, but do you not have screens? The issue is that KO has like KO pretty much has like a shooting army's worth of output in the shooting phase, in addition to having a melee armies.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so it's essentially like, yeah, you can have screens, but they'll just get shot off. Like the problem is that I actually need my screens to like go out and get objectives for a little bit, so I can position in such a way that I can start expanding outwards. And if he's able to just like murder them all instantly, it doesn't really help me that much. But you have a unit of, if you have 12, what is it? He had like 10 harpoon crew, 12 sky wardens, an ironclad, and a frigate. Mm-hmm. And just in like the little shooting, like those 12 wardens are pumping out like, what is it? 37 shots on 3s and 3s, Ren 1/1 damage total.
Jeez.
And then the harpoon crew that's another 31 or 32 shots, 3s and 3s, Ren 1/1 damage. And that's like rattling gun level territory of shooting. And then you have an ironclad, which has 6 shots.
It's better.
Yeah, it is. And then you have an ironclad that's at 6 shots at damage 2 and 6 shots at damage 3. And then you have a frigate, which has like a big cannon on it. And then you've got Brock, which has got a gun. Like it's like, and that's before they get into combat with you. So it's just like something has to give. Like you need to. So basically, what happens is when you deploy, you usually have to sacrifice. So it's either I choose between having my stuff in obscuring on deployment, which means it usually has to be pushed fairly far up,
right?
Or I don't have it in obscuring. And then he does the same thing, charges in, shoots the stuff at my non-obscured stuff now. And then because I'm ogres, I'm all in a 5-up save, right? If he puts that level of shooting into me,
right,
he can instead just like be fairly non-committal and apply that same amount of damage. And it's actually maybe even worse if I'm not standing in obscuring.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty rough. The Madrid team says, watching significantly behind live, but doubt it will be Zinch anytime soon. They had a White Dwarf army of renown, and they were soon. And if they were soon, would have probably been included in the book. I see. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Matthias said, I don't know why they gave the Sky Wardens 3 shots each. It's crazy. How does a pistol get more than 1? Yeah, exactly. So that's the problem, is that like everyone's always saying like, oh, the terrain at the event is like a big deal. for KO not beating you. Like if you don't have proper area terrain, then it's a problem. And then, you know, oh, if you're on the wrong battle plan, you just lose against KO. And it's like, that shouldn't be how you balance an army.
Yeah.
That was the same problem with Slaves to Darkness. Is like you get paired into Slaves to Darkness on shifting objectives and you just lose. Like,
yeah.
You have to fight them on 3 objectives, like time to die. Sorry. Like that, you shouldn't balance an army around that. You should have preferred like spread versus dense. I think that makes sense.
Yep.
But I didn't mean to rhyme. I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
Hey.
But it's still like you shouldn't have that exist in the game, probably.
Yeah, so. I agree. We're in like a really weird time. Like they didn't just change fundamentally how objectives and stuff work. They also changed like how terrain works and all these other things while new armies are coming out. It's no wonder that we're seeing some issues. And so like, this isn't really a shot at GW. I like that they're changing things up and making it interesting, but yeah, there's definitely some, some issues, some growing pains in the new edition. So yeah. I do like, by the way, I do agree. Bring back the Dread Soaring. I've still got mine. I love them. And even though Eric can't hear me, he said they should reveal an Albertosaurus at Edmonton Open. Such a great idea. I would love to see like seriously Spinosaurus, like just a giant, like even bigger than a Carnosaur, 2-legged monster with like just huge claws. Yeah, I agree with Catharsis Chaser. Obscuring needs a bit of a tweak, especially for war machines. Like I think it needs both a nerf and a buff. You know what I mean? Because like I don't think I don't think it should apply to war machines or anything with like a certain wound amount. You know what I mean? Like it gets kind of goofy. But then on top of that, like it's really, it's like, it's the old direwolf problem. Do you remember like direwolves in 3rd edition where people were running them in these weird clamshell formations? So you can actually get them all to attack in one unit because of how, what's it called worked? It was both a problem of like them having a 1-inch attack. And then on top of that, coherency. So people were running them in these weird double clamshell formations so they could all get in and actually attack. And it was super fiddly, but the main problem was it looked really stupid to me. Like it takes all the like, what's it called? Like the suspension of disbelief and that kind of thing out of it when they're running up in these really goofy looking sort of formations. And that's kind of my problem with obscuring. I think you should have to be, I don't think you should be able to be in front of the terrain and be obscured. You know what I mean? Like forests, it makes sense if you're behind it, but if you're like in front of a wall, you're in front of a wall that has obscured, like what does that even mean? You're just got like a nice backdrop. You're easier to shoot. You're not harder to shoot. You know what I mean? So like there's some of that for me, and I don't really, I don't play in tournaments. It's not really like a big deal for me personally, but like, I like to see the sort of verisimilitude of, you know what I mean? The rules interacting with sort of, how you want the like, that's why they got rid of daisy chains. Hey, because like it looked really weird to have like this weird, goofy, long line of clan rats going all over the battlefield. And so they started adding Holy Within and then, coherency to change that so it doesn't look so goofy. But now we're kind of dipping our toes back into that. But again, it's super early in the GHB. It came out like what, 2 months ago?
Yep.
Yeah. Not even
3 months ago.
Oh, 3 months? Was it June?
I guess 2.5 months ago.
Right? Or was it?
It was like mid-June.
Mid-June. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So 2.5 months ago. So that's really not that far. We're coming up on what's hopefully going to be like a big update for the game. Reason for people to get excited. Yeah. I wonder if changing obscuring to ranged attacks only, not magic, would help or hurt. Still funny that magic can't find its way through the trees. Yeah, I mean, like, I get that, like, if you're going to, like, call a lightning bolt down on someone, you kind of need to see them. You know what I mean? I kind of get it. It's, I'm not sure about for balancing. Like, I actually, I don't think I could speak to that. I think you could probably speak to that better, Carson.
I don't know. It's
Like, is magic a problem?
I don't mind the. No, I mean, like Croak was the main issue before. I think the big two that I think of were like Croak and Be'lakor, where Be'lakor's thing wasn't even magic; it was just his ability, Dark Master. Right. So,
and does that need line of sight?
Yep, it needs visibility. Yeah. So
interesting.
Both of those can be problems, I guess. I don't know. I think it's not a huge deal. It hasn't like killed the balance of the game.
No.
I think if anything, it's like made it a little bit better. Like you can go from foxhole to foxhole, and yeah, I kind of like it. I think that it just needs some kinks ironed out. Like you really should not be able to have Glutos sitting barely an inch in front of something and extending like 6 inches outwards and be like, you can't see me, sorry. Like, I agree. There should be like a wound limit or something like that instead of because Catacross is an issue too. Like, why is Catacross able to do that too? He's on a massive base. Yeah. Like, so that makes sense. Right. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly a huge issue that Magic can't see into the woods. Like, it's like you said, like the wizard probably has to physically see you. Yeah. And I think that, a model only expresses so much detail. Like, I think it's supposed to be that there's like grasping thorns, like you're like hiding in bushes that are extending out of it, or camouflage or what have you. So
that's true. Like, but then that only applies like if you're fully in front of it too, though. Like up to an inch. Like it's not even an inch. You have to be within an inch. So like they're sometimes like ogres is a good example where like their base is barely within an inch, but they're sticking out like 3 inches from the thing. You're like, come on, guys. Like, I don't think that should count for obscuring, but it's more just like, but again, for me, this is mostly about the way the game looks and stuff like that. I think like if they want to keep it as something like if it's a balancing issue, they can just go to moving where the obscuring can be, and also like once we're out of this GHB where you can't make more obscuring, you know what I mean? Then that'll presumably help things a bit. But yeah,
yep,
it's kind of an interesting problem. Coatl, Catharsis Chaser, right? Man, that would be that'd be quite a surprising expansion, but they were in Total War. So that's actually a really good call. I try not to think about Cav bases in 3rd edition. Oh man. That was so... Do you remember the time, Qual, when you could like, if you reinforced like, what are they called? The Gorgers? They couldn't be... They had to be in like the coherency of like all 6 of them together, because before it was 6 models. Remember, before they made it 7 or more? And so like these units of 6 couldn't be in a line. They had to be in like a line of 2. And then you just couldn't even get them all to fight. It was just like, man, that was such a nightmare. Yeah. You missed 3rd edition coherency? Why would you miss it? That's crazy. I mean, like, some of it was kind of good, though, that it was, like, within an inch. It wasn't within half an inch. So that was
I wish it was still an inch.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, because 40K is, like, 2 inches, right? And it's like... And that works fine. And they also don't do wholly within. So, like, I feel like we're starting to get a little too far down that kind of rabbit hole. Yeah, I think an inch is totally fine. But what they were trying to stop, though, was clan rats, like the 25 millimeter base issue, So, yeah, I don't know. But there is it creates more problems than it really solves. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, I can't have like a unit of just straight clan rats, like one guy deep, but then on the other side I have to with 32 bases I have to honeycomb them, or like I can't even remove them legally from, you know what I mean, from the thing without going outside of coherency there. So like, I don't know. I think when they try and plug all these holes, sometimes it just makes it worse, But
Yep. Its baffle also says what I don't like is that in front of terrain and it's 3.1 inches, you're invisible, but wholly behind and outside of one of the terrain is visible. So basically, like
Right.
he's
Yeah.
saying, like,
Yeah.
yeah, if people are wholly behind a piece of obscuring terrain, they're still visible. I think honestly,
It looks
it feels
dumb.
weird.
Yeah.
It does look dumb, but I think that they probably wanted to remove the aspect of like angle shooting out of the game because it used to be like if there's a 3-inch chunk of
Yeah.
wildwood between you and your enemy, and then you're just like, oh my god, like you have to break out the laser line thing and then do like a 3-inch measurement, and it's like so prone to error. It's kind of like the same reason why they probably don't do blast templates anymore.
Yep.
It's because someone like holds it above the table and be like, looks like that's all of your unit that's in it to me from this angle anyway, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's fiddly. I think
Yeah.
I think like it could probably be solved with, and I like, it's weird that I was just complaining about like the overuse of Holy Within, but I think Holy Within actually makes a lot of sense here. You know, like Holy within an inch of, and then that way there's like a certain amount, and I don't think it should work for walls. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think walls should be obscuring at all. But like, and like, you could do the whole behind the wall thing. I hear what you're saying, but like, anyway, putting that aside, if they did wholly within an inch, that would just solve so many things. You know what I mean? It would solve like how dumb it looks. And then if it's like, okay, well, you know, we'll try and use our imagination. Like they're wholly within an inch of even the wall. It still feels kind of dumb, but like maybe there's an overhang, there's shade. You know, we can try and use our imaginations a little bit more. But right now it's like you've got Catacross in front of a wall, stupid wall. He's you know, he is within an inch, but he's sticking out like 6 inches, like he's in the noonday sun, and yeah, you can't see him because reasons. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's 6. Yeah, that's fair. But I found that annoying, Devin. You know, like just the fiddliness of it makes playing with new Saurus a nightmare with their weapons and tails. Yeah, that's true too. The whole coherency thing is, yeah. What was the other thing? Oh, right. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yep. Why don't you talk about new units kind of got added to the game through Warhammer Underworlds. They're both really cool looking units. Carbson is going to talk about Mantrapper. And his tokens.
His tokens, his accomplices.
Yep.
Are you showing the war scroll on screen or?
How would I do that? Because it's in the app, right?
No, they put a download on the website.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I was well ahead of it today, but
it's under other rules, Mantrapper War Scroll and Sunblood Pack War Scroll. But anyway, it's a bit of a preamble. Basically, they've made new spearheads for Seraphon and Ogres, and within those spearheads was the Seraphon Sunblood Pack and the Ogre. It used to be Hrothgorn's Mantrappers, which was like an Underworld's warband. And a whole bunch of people were like, what the heck? You're going to buy this? And these aren't even legal things to play in game. And lo and behold, they created new war scrolls for them, which is super cool. It's always nice to see more units being added to the game. So we've got the Mantrapper, who is just like a hero that's added to... like he used to be like a hero with like... maybe there were tokens before as well, but it used to be Hrothgorn's Mantrappers, and then they would like do certain things based on each specific thing. But now it is the Mantrapper itself. It's not unique, and it has 4 tokens. It's got 1 Frost Saber and 3 little Noblars.
And he's a hero.
He is a hero, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the Beastclaw Raiders keyword. He's got the Ogre Maw Tribes, and Destruction keywords, of course. He's got like the standard Ogre hero stat line, 8 health on a 5-up save. For some reason, he's got 3 control instead of 5 control, which is a little bit weird. Most Ogre heroes will have 5. He moves.
Could be another hint that they're getting a refresh in a book soon.
Maybe. He's got 6-inch move, which is very standard, and then he's got a shooting attack and a melee attack. I'll spare you the melee attack. He's just an Ogre glutton. That's it. So he's 4 attacks, 4s and 2s, around 1 damage. The range weapon's kind of interesting because it's 15-inch range,
Mm-hmm.
4 shots, and then it kind of breaks the mold. It's not 4s and 2s, it's 3s and 3s.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more, slightly more reliable technically. Ren 1 damage D3, and then it's also crit auto wound, which is kind of neat too. So it's actually a fairly solid shooting profile. Like
it is.
It's not terrible. This guy's 130 points, by the way. He also, so he's got these 4 tokens, and then at the start of any battle round, he can basically pick any visible enemy unit on the table and place one of his tokens next to them. He can stack the tokens as well, is a key thing to note. So you can basically have up to 4 tokens on one enemy unit, but you wouldn't be able to do that until battle round 4. So it takes time to do so. Then it's once per turn, army wide in any shooting phase. You pick an enemy unit that had any damage points allocated to this, allocated to it by this unit's shooting attack to be the target. Make a trapped roll of d6. Subtract 1 from the roll for each friendly man trap or accomplice, which are the tokens next to the target. If the roll is less than the target's save characteristic until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from the number of dice rolled when making charge rolls for the target to a minimum of 1, and the target does not have fly. So you've trapped them.
That's crazy.
It's yet another piece of anti-charge tech. However, this one is more interesting, I think, because it's more likely that you get the anti-charge thing. So one thing to keep in mind is that it's once per turn army-wide, any shooting phase.
Yeah.
So if you're covering fire with this guy and he happens to do a damage to something and you roll under their save characteristic, then you're minusing their charge dice by 1.
Yep.
But the key thing to note is these man trappers accomplices, right? Like if you know that your opponent is going to be just like, if they have a couple hammers and that's it, just like whipping something into you, you can just start like just sticking those little tokens on them 1 by 1. So if your opponent's got like 6 Baron Guard or something, you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then it just like forces them to either just accept that and put something forward on the covering fire turn, or they have to risk getting -1 charge diced. So this is pretty good. It's a solid shooting profile as is. 130 points is like slightly pricey maybe, but it's still a pretty good tool.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if you're covering fire, you're like, oh no, you run 4s and 3s, run 1 D3 damage. It's like maybe you'll get 1 or 2 through, and then it's only run 1, so maybe your opponent just saves it and they don't do any damage. However, you can put the Great Gut Lord heroic trait on this guy, which means that he never suffers negative modifiers to his attacks. Which means that when he's covering fire, he can be on 3s and 3s, run 1 D3 damage still with crit auto
wound too. Yeah.
Which suddenly means like maybe you're getting 2 or 3 through, which even against like a 3-up save, it might force your opponent to like all-out defense so that they don't accidentally take damage from this thing and then lose a D6 charge. So this is a really interesting tool. I've normally been using like the Blood Pelt Hunter as just like a movement shenanigan. He goes around and does some out of phase movement, and then he's the carrier of the priest trait.
Right.
But the priest trait costs points. And the Great Gut Lord does not. So you can basically do like a 1-to-1 swap out of this guy for the Blood Pelt Hunter.
Right.
And I think it's an interesting proposition. Like against some armies, it won't be particularly good. Like I don't think against KO it would matter too much. Maybe you get like an okay covering fire, and then maybe if you get lucky, you're -1 D6 charge. But against other armies like Daughters of Cain, for instance, like they're just throwing missiles at you, and everything's on a 5 or 6-up save.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty decent chance that you subtract their charge dice by 1.
Or my Rogers.
Or your Rad Ogres.
Yeah.
Or Night Haunt, who are all in 6-up saves.
Yeah.
Or like any glass cannon army hates this. And that's the problem that Ogre typically has.
FEC?
Is like if you have a FEC doesn't like it.
Ugh, they hate it. Like that's part of their whole plan now is to like drop down and get pretty close and make reliable charges with like extremely glass cannon-y kinds of armies, and they're like the whole army's on a 5-up pretty much.
Yeah, and so let's say like the counter argument to that might be like, okay, maybe they get outside of like 3 inches of your screen and it doesn't really matter that much. Like their plan was to just charge around it anyway. Exactly, right? Now they can't just like spike a 12-inch charge and like go around your screen or like dive deep into your lines or something. You're capping their charge while at 6. Right. And it's a 1/3 chance that they fail, even if they're right outside the 3. Whoa. So it's a really interesting tool, and it's much more consistent than the Noblar Scrap Launcher. I'm gonna try it out. I've played 0.5 games with it so far,
Okay.
but yeah, it's neat. I don't think it's like an auto take, but there's definitely an argument for it. And based on what's in the meta right now, I think that it's actually pretty useful.
And
So,
is he like a sub hero? I assume so.
no, no.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I think maybe you can take him under like a Frostlord or something, but because he's Beastclaw Raiders, you wouldn't be able to take him under like a Butcher or a Slaughtermaster.
oh, I see.
So,
Interesting.
but I don't mind the extra drop. That's fine.
Fair enough. Huh. Wow.
Yeah. So he's got like actually decent shooting,
Yeah.
cool tech, and it is yet another thing that makes it really unappetizing to charge into your castle,
Right. Yeah.
which is what you want. You want to be dictating the terms of engagement.
This guy like with Noblars, and you're just like, damn it, like this sucks.
Well, it's just stacking reason on reason. It's like, oh god, there's a screen of Noblars. When I go into them, they're gonna ping me for damage, and I'm just gonna kill Noblars. And then maybe even when I do so, you're gonna Burger Lust into me and kill my unit.
Right.
And maybe I won't even get into combat because the Man Trapper is like possibly reducing my charge dice by 1. So it's just like it's not a good option to charge in.
What do you even do against this?
I don't know. If you have tools to just be like,
you die.
Here's some chaff, and then you charge in with the other thing, then sure you can do that. But or like good shooting to clear the screen too is always good. But
oh man,
yeah, no, it's a really interesting piece. I like it a lot. The crit auto wound is a big thing too. Like it's neat that because like that changes the math by a decent amount.
I see.
And it's 4 attacks as well. It's not like a small amount of attacks.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess the other option too is God dang it, Eric. What was I even? I mean, you know, if you do have the option, yeah, like charging with 2 different units, you know, against ogres, like because of the crappy save, you know, you can argue. Yeah. Ogre nerf win. Man Trapper not a real unit, just a unit that exists. Yeah, so very interesting. I like that it's a hero. I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to about this. I feel like this kind of does almost hint at a refresh too. Like just there's a couple of weird things that are just a little bit off. What was I gonna? Oh yeah. Then just to like I pulled them up earlier. It doesn't have it on here that I can see. No, it doesn't. So the Man Trapper. Oops. Isn't it Man Trapper? Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Faction pack. It is. It's 1 model. And then how many tokens does it have?
4.
4. Thank you. I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't find it on my app here. So that's kind of interesting because you can have up to +4. I mean, again, you're like talking later stages of the game, but it doesn't mean that you didn't do stuff earlier. So
yeah, it's particularly interesting if your opponent has like 1 hammer.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god. That's
then
true.
You can just be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here you go. I'm just biding my time. Like, come on. Like,
right.
come charge me kind of thing. So it's one thing that maybe convinces your opponent to go into you earlier rather than later. Because as you stack it up more and more, it just becomes way easier to proc. So
right. If you have like what is the role if you don't have any tokens?
Just less than their save characteristic.
Oh right, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Less than their save. So the better their save, the harder this is, and it's harder to wound them in the first place. So interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and it's a dope model. You know, cool looking Underworlds model.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it. Should we talk about the Seraphon one?
Let's do it.
Okay.
The Sunblood pack.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't put it on that screen yet. Where are you? I opened it. There it is. Okay, the Sunblood pack. So this is 3 models. You've got the Sunblood, and then you've got like 2 like Saurus warriors that come with it. They're each 3 health on a 4-up save, 4-up ethereal save. So because there's 3 of them, you're talking 9 total attacks. 3s and 3s minus 1 around 2 damage, which is like okay, right? And how many points are they again? It's like 150.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look that up in a second. So then they have it's a 4-up save, 5-inch move, 2 control. All this is pretty normal, like what you'd expect, other than the ethereal save, obviously. And then probably the biggest thing here is it's just a passive of ignore the first damage point that would be allocated to friendly Saurus and Croxagore units each phase while they're wholly within 12 inches. Like, it's not displaying. It's showing on OBS here. I'm gonna wait for a second. It's showing on OBS, so includes itself.
I see it on stream now.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure what you mean. It includes itself because there's 1 Sunblood, and then there's 2 Saurus Bodyguard. Oh yes, and you ignore the first point of damage. I see. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah.
150 points. Thank you. Awesome. So, like, that's probably why you're taking them, right? Just to like ignore the first point of damage, on this huge big thing.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. The 3 attacks each is actually nothing to scoff at either. Like they're
2 damage.
3 total models. 3 total models.
Yeah. So 9 attacks. There's no champion.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not too bad, no.
And it's a hero, so it can take like artifacts and heroic traits and stuff like that too. And I know that there's
that's a
heroic
good point.
trait or an artifact for +1 attack.
Right.
Or if it's damaged or something,
right.
you get +2 attacks. So.
I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And not that, I think that's like a good enough but you look at your other artifacts that are you get your Coatl Familiar, which a lot of people are taking once per game extra D6, and then you get the Incandescent Retroces, which is heal D3, which is pretty good.
You're not going to take the Coatl on this because there's no spell casting, but
I know, but you might take it on someone else, kind of thing.
Like, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, that's true. But the heal D3 is no joke though. On like although like there's models there, so you'd have to that's kind of a because they only have 3 health each. So not as enticing there, but yeah, maybe the extra attack. I feel like though with the artifacts are like if you don't have a spellcaster, then it doesn't really matter as much. But if you do have a spellcaster, you're taking the Coatl if you can possibly fit it because it's like the only good one. But there's like a bunch of really great heroic traits, so it's a little bit of a sad panda kind of noise. But yeah.
But then it's got its Venomite Swarm ability, which it's got a Venomite token, where basically if you're in combat with someone, you can roll a d3. On a 1, you just remove the token, but on a 2-up, you inflict that many mortal damage onto whatever the thing is. But it's cute.
It's cute. I think it should have been like Venomite Swarm should have been like the 2-up d3 effect roll, and then on a 1 you remove the token, and then you or you get to re-roll it on a 1, but then you remove.
Oh, but if token. You re-roll a 1 into a 1, you remove the token.
No, you get to re-roll it, but then you remove or you get to re-roll it, but then you remove the token.
I see.
Like the rat in the priest for Skaven. Yeah, being ethereal is really good too. I agree. Yeah.
MID says 15 attacks is awesome for a 150 point hero. Yeah,
but it's 9 attacks. Oh, you mean with the artifact?
Yeah,
I see.
12 attacks, and then with the extra condition, it can be 15.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
So.
Yeah. No.
Nothing to scoff at. Like it's pretty good.
Yep, that's true. I mean, you are wasting or using your artifact, but you know, in this particular situation, it actually seems really really good. Yeah, with the pendant, got it right. Yeah, the blood range pendant or whatever it's called. Yeah, no, that it's cool. It I feel like the tech is a lot deeper and more interesting for the man trapper, but this also seems, yeah, very strong.
It's just solid. Like it's a
Yeah.
good castle piece, I think. If
Yeah.
you're running like a Saurus and Kroxigor heavy list, then they can already be pretty hard to shift if especially if you have the Quetzal the Preserver asterism out and you're on like a good map for it.
Right.
Be pretty spicy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and they're really cool looking models. The thing that makes me the most nervous about collecting them is probably just like, are these things going to be here like 6 months from now, or even when the book comes out? Like, is this a stopgap? But they look really cool. So you could always just use the Sunblood as like an old blood on foot or something like that, maybe. I'm curious why they didn't make him look a little more different than what's his name? Gorok from the old world.
I have no idea.
He looks exactly the same. Like, I've got the resin model like in the closet over there, and like, this looks way better, of course, because it's a model designed in in the 21st century.
Yep.
It's not that bad, but it's what it feels like, right? So yeah, but yeah, gonna run 1 to 2 of these at least. They pair well with Crocs. Yeah, Crocs, Saurus warriors in general too. Like, if you're just running anything that's heavy Saurus, it feels like they're pretty good. Because like the old blood is a Saurus, Actually, it's kind of good against the man trappers too.
Yeah. Just ignore one of them and hope
Yeah.
that you.
And it's like it's allocated, right? So like if you do have a ward for some reason, like through the Starseer or whatever, then you could try and ignore it on the 6 up or whatever, or 5 up for the Starseer, and then yeah. But I don't know. I don't think people are really going to be building against man trappers. They're probably a lot more worried about KO.
Yeah, probably.
But
I'm just gonna be people drowning in a sea of like balloons, and then they get finally emerge, and they're like, "What?" Oh, and then they get hit by a man trapper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. I mean, and like against the ships too. Like the ships have like a 2-up save, so the man trapper ain't doing. I mean, you'll still shoot your shot, but because otherwise you're gonna die. Eric did a number on me with these guys. Yeah, Eric said Alex hates these guys. So that's always good to hear.
Yeah. Anything -1 damage is pretty or not -1 damage, but ignoring the first damage of each phase, like it adds up.
It really does. I was using the what's it called? Stronger in Madness trait for Flesh Eater Courts, and that's the Armor of Sithai and ignore the first point of damage. It's so good. Like on my Terrorgeist guy, like I could definitely see, like I don't think I'll take it unless I'm taking a Terrorgeist, but when you're taking a frickin' Abhorrent Ghoul King on Terrorgeist or Zombie Dragon, it's so good. Like the first, like I'm not even taking it for the first point of damage, but like that's just gravy, And like I can't decide between Charnel Vestments or the Grizzly Pennant. The Grizzly Pennant is so good. Like +1 to hit against them for everything, and -1 to hit for that unit. It's only if you charge, but still, you're rolling against their OC. So yeah, Flesh Eater Courts is really fun. I'm really enjoying playing them.
Yeah, they seem really cool.
They really are. And like but also like really well. It seems like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're really strong. Maybe they're super weak. I don't know. It's just way too early to tell because the army is so glassy and so cannony. You know what I mean? And great movement. But I don't really care about that. I just care how, the fun and the theme, and they nailed that. It's like one of the best books they've ever written. So yeah, been having fun.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of fun indeed.
It has been. Okay. Did we talk about everything? Oh, I mean, about KO, you know. Well, I mean, I just like in general, like I've been getting a lot of complaints, and so we're starting to see more and more. Like there's a lot of tournaments that were like banning the Khorne Army of Renown, and we're starting to see some adjustments from various tournaments, and yeah, like what do we think about about like making adjustments in general ahead of GW? Not like I'm not talking about KO. I'm just talking about like we're starting to see this more and more. Like the idea of comp is sort of coming back more now. And like what do you think about that? Like
Yeah, I think it's really tough. Like GW has explicitly said that they don't want tournaments doing that just because otherwise it kind of messes with the data, right? Like they effectively have to ignore the result of a tournament if there's like specific
right.
comps in it, which sucks because there might be a tournament where there's really valuable data
That's true.
that they have to get something out of, and then the tournament just changed something for some reason.
That's a great
even
point.
if it's really strong, then they can't really use that information and treat it as like clean.
Right.
So that I think that's one reason probably not to change anything. I know that there's certain TOs out there that like have maybe connections with GW more so than anyone else, and
Okay.
like Old Town Throwdown would be a good one where like Tomo runs like all of the GW opens essentially, or doesn't
Okay.
run them, but like he's a judge for them, so there's a good chance that he's pretty informed about like generally what like FAQs are going to be. So at Old Town Throwdown there was like Khorne and KO FAQs that were part of the pack.
Interesting.
So in that instance, it's interesting, but like that's kind of like a retrospective thing. Like I think in general, comping and banning probably shouldn't really be present. Like,
But like
I'm not hugely in support of it. But
I hear what you say. Like let me sort of push back. Okay, so you're a TO. I mean, you are a TO. But like you're running an event. You run typically, like most TOs don't run multiple events a year, right? Most TOs run one event a year, right? So you've got this event coming up, right? And all these people are coming. And I'm not for or against. This is just like more of a thought experiment, right? And then so you've got this tournament coming up, and whatever the boogeyman is, let's choose the Khorne Army of Renown because it's already a problem that has been fixed. You and I both personally, I think that they probably went a little too far in their correction, but that's neither here nor there. So you got this event coming up. The Khorne Army of Renown is something everyone's worried about, everyone's complaining about. Do you like? What is your responsibility? Is your responsibility to the game and the community in general when you host your tournament that you know what I mean, you host it under the pure rules so that GW has better data, or is your duty to the people that are coming to the event and to just try and make the event as good an experience for those people as possible?
I think your duty is always to the people that are coming to the event.
Okay.
Like that's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
So if it just so happens that everyone in your town wants to play like 7th edition fantasy except with Age of Sigmar models, then that's that. Like it's just,
yeah,
because
exactly.
otherwise like people aren't going to come next time, right? Like you have
Right.
to be pleasing the people that are coming. And that was very bad phrasing. I'm sorry. But
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. But I think that it's really easy to listen to the loud voices on the internet
Yep.
and be like, this is a huge problem. I have to proactively fix this. And I think that if you really think something needs to be banned, I think you owe it to your tournament attendees to at least send out a survey to be like, and as unbiased as possible. Don't add any preamble. Don't add anything like that. Just being like, we're thinking of banning the Gore Chosen.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Would you support this? Yes or no? And then if it isn't like 75% yes, then you probably shouldn't. Because if half the people want it and half the people don't, that's still too much of a.
Right.
I don't think you should. Right.
Yeah.
It should be like overwhelmingly supportive of a given action. And if that's the case, then I think that's acceptable. But I think that.
I like that.
Yeah, there's too many.
You think there's too many cowboys?
Yeah, I think so. Like people that feel like they know what's best for the community without really consulting it, right? And you should just directly ask. So,
yeah. I like that idea. I like that a lot. They're right to ban the Corn Army of Renown, a 1690 point list. Oh, that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about Gore Chosen. Comping is good and only if it's necessary for balance of player enjoyment. That means when it happens, it represents a failure on GW's part, so they shouldn't be telling people not to do it. I mean, arguably, but then, like, let me push back on that qual. Like, what if they're wrong? You know what I mean? Like, what if, like, when it's happened so many times that when something comes out, everyone's either up on arms because it's too strong or it's not strong enough. And I don't think we actually know most of the time whether that's true or not, you know? Like, and like, although, like, to push back on that even as well, like, GW is comping their own books. Like, Nighthaunt is comped. Nighthaunt got a total rewrite. Like, the army couldn't be more different without it, like, without them literally going back to, like, scratch and nothing being the same. You know what I mean? But they're comping their own books. Like, they have no idea whether Nighthaunt is good or bad. And you can add like 100 points to that army before you even add any units.
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, that's a very specific example, and it's odd, yeah. But
I mean, like, but they shouldn't be comping. They shouldn't be, or I shouldn't say comp. But
not really comping. It's just like rebalancing.
It is, yeah. But they don't know. Like, the fact of the matter is like FEC has charnel vestments as one of the things, and like, I don't think it's as strong as Stronger in Madness. Like, under the right circumstances, you know what I mean? Like but the idea though, like, too, is like, so like there was a comment on because you guys were talking about Nighthaunt. You guys were talking about the same thing, actually, in the battle report. By the way, check it out. If you don't know where the lists are, it's in the other video because the Streamlabs just died near the start of the stream. So anyway, and then there was a comment on there that, like, basically that, like, they're balancing against like what's good and what's bad, right? But they're not, though, because, like, if an army is super weak, then they don't need to add anything. They should be, like, taking off all of those things, right? So they're also balancing the army overall. They're not just internal balancing the army. That's not what they're doing. So
I would never consider, like, anything GW does is to be comp.
It's not a comp, but they're like, they are, like, adding a weird kind of pre-balancing to it, which means doesn't that mean that they failed? But they, to a certain
not necessarily. I think they're just setting a precedent to say, because remember, you used to pay for every
fantasy
artifact.
days.
Yeah, in the fantasy days.
But we've never paid for anything like that in Age of Sigmar.
I know, and it just seems like they're setting a precedent to say, like, we're going to write stuff that's clearly better than the other stuff, and it's just going to cost points. Right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily see it as like we failed to design this and we're admitting that, so it costs points now. I see it as like this is a clearly better version than this other thing, and you have to pay points for it. It's just like another lever to.
But, like, what if you're paying points for faction terrain though too?
Yep. So like, well, think of the faction terrain that you're paying points for. It's never the faction terrain that's integral to the rules of the army, right?
That's true. Yep, that's true.
It's just like, here's this extra thing that you can have if you want.
Right. But man. Yeah. I don't know. I think in a world I actually wish that all of the, like, if they're going to go that way, I would rather that they had it so that, like, all the what do you call it? Artifacts and heroic traits and stuff like that, they all cost points. And then you could just, like, fix your list with points, because, like, you know, like I made a list the other day I hate making a list that's 1930 or 1940 points and you just can't fit anything else in there. You know what I mean? So I would love it if it was just like they got rid of the cap of 1 per thing, and then I could just pay points, and then I could, you know what I mean? It would make building armies more fun, because it's more granular and you can just kind of, and then that way it would also, like, I don't know, I feel like it would be, like, again, like you said, another lever to pull, but then also they could make more artifacts that are less impactful and just make them super cheap, like 5-10 points or whatever. And then it's just like, okay, this feels a lot better because we don't have triumphs anymore, you know? And, like, the like the size and point size of units is getting bigger, not smaller. Like, there's, like, nothing that costs, like, 60 points anymore, you know?
Yep.
So, like, 1950, you get an extra CP turn 1. Okay, that's fine. But now what? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I don't know.
Biggest issue with chomping, love it, is that it can harm the universality of the game. AOS is best when you can go anywhere and know it will play the same. That's a great point. That's another point against chomping.
It is a big point against chomping, for sure. No, it's like, that sort of thing is it's something you kind of have to accept when you do tournaments, like, even down to the level of, like, terrain that you use, or even down to the level of, like, how much time you have between rounds, right? If it's guaranteed that you're going to have half hour between rounds, and the TO decides to, like, post pairings, then you have time to set up your table that has nothing to do with your 3-hour round kind of thing. That's getting really specific. But then, like, let's say a certain, like, a TO just, like, doesn't believe in using any obstacles and everything is area terrain. Then it's just like some armies are just going to lose because that's just, like, a decision that the person made, or maybe they just happen to have that much terrain. So,
but so are you arguing for or against it right now?
No, I'm just saying it's something you have to factor in.
Oh, like, anytime you go to a tournament, it's the TO gets to decide, because this isn't a video game, so you go by the TO's rules. Is that what you're kind of?
No, I'm saying there's already a difference from tournament to tournament, and comping is one of those things that's like, you're already in, like, you already have agency over a lot at the event.
Okay.
And comping, I think, is like, it's a little bit too, like, you can never know, like, what GW exactly has in mind. Like, you know how people say, like, rules is intended versus rules is written? Like, maybe there's, like, a community-oriented rules is intended sort of thing, or, like, but as soon as you get into comping, that's not rules as intended, because clearly they would have just made the point something else, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
that's true for the
just
points.
like it's just the community being like, it should be this, and that's extremely biased and arbitrary. So I don't think you can come to a real conclusion.
I mean, like, but, like, also at the same time, like, their changes that they make to the meta take time. And so, like we knew that they were going to do something with the Khorne Army of Renown.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Tom B was saying, were you ever in a tourney and you thought you were going to poop your pants and had to leave the table? And Alex said, yes, maintain eye contact, push hard, continue rolling dice. Oh, God. I've had a nosebleed at the table, and then I had to excuse myself after a night of heavy drinking.
That's not where I thought that was going to go. I mean, Was it worth? Was it worth?
No.
No. Okay.
No. I tend not to drink very much around tournaments anymore because it exhausts you and it
Right.
just makes me feel awful. So
That's
Yep.
fair.
Yep.
Bryce says, "Oh man, I am meated up for new ogres."
Me too.
Gross.
Me too.
Gross. But I get it. I just got my rats. I was meated up for rats.
Meat it up is a terrible term.
It really is. But
I hate that kind of phrase.
that's why I used it.
I'm all meated up.
Oh man, that's brutal. About the food poisoning, Tom. Ooh, which chess was it? Hikaru, or I'm assuming it wasn't Magnus or someone, but I'd be curious. Yeah. Matt, I wish you would have told me about how much were those dice bags?
Free.
They were free?
Yeah.
What? Damn it. I need to learn to crochet, apparently.
Can you still hear me very well?
It sounds weird, but yes. I can't
All right,
hear
I gotta
you.
stop doing that then. I won't do that.
Yeah. It just sounded worse in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I could do is I could take this dice bag
Uh-huh.
and then I take this can of spam and I
I
put
feel like
it
you're
in the
gonna
dice
put a
bag
magic trick or whatever.
and then I go like and I hold it like this and
Yeah.
I just hit someone with it.
You just turn it into like a makeshift blackjack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
It could work. Next time I play Matthias.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. Who needs a sack of nickels when you've got a can of spam and a dice bag, a crocheted dice bag?
Yeah, he'll be like, "Oh, I won priority." I'll be like, "Did you?"
Did you know? Yep. Wham.
Oh, Beard asks, "What are your thoughts for chess clocks for competitive games?" I have so many thoughts on that, but I think so. Maybe let's aim to wrap up in about 5 minutes because
Yep.
we're thinking of ending a little bit earlier tonight. But if you don't mind, I'm going to go on a small spiel about chess clocks.
Let's hear it. It's a great way to close out the show.
I love chess clocks. That's it. And the reason why is because you have to think of the upside of using a chess clock, or sorry, the downside of using a chess clock versus the downside of not using a chess clock. The downside of using a chess clock is that some people have anxiety about using them, which is perfectly valid, and it adds another element to the game, and it can be stressful. The downside of not using a chess clock is sometimes, in fact, most of the time, one of the two players will not use only their 1.5 hours of the game. They'll use like even an hour 45 or 2 hours.
Mhm.
And the issue is that just because one person is good at playing the game in like 1 hour, they can complete their game in an hour, doesn't mean that the other person should get 2, right?
Yep.
Like the game is played on mistakes. If everyone had infinite time, you could just pick up your opponent's book, look at all of their rules, look at all of their like ranges and stuff like that. Be
Make
like, okay,
flashcards to memorize everything.
make flashcards to memorize anything. You could like run all of the different permutations through like a computer if you wanted to. You could like
Yeah.
if you had infinite time and everyone played perfectly, then you might as well just roll a 4 up to see who wins.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It kind of takes the fun out of the game. And when you're sitting across from an opponent who is just taking all the time and like thinking over every possible decision and you're not on a chess clock, it's horrible because you feel like because you know your stuff well, you have to like speed up. And then that's now all of a sudden, because your opponent is taking time, you're making mistakes. And that's a horrible situation to be in, right? And it's
Right.
really unfair actually to
Yeah.
do that to someone. And I don't think people do it on purpose,
No.
but I think that people get really defensive when it gets pointed out.
Right.
And
Well,
I think you just
and some people do it on purpose. That's
Some people
actually a
do on
reality. Yeah.
yeah,
It happens less probably in AOS than a lot of other games, but it's definitely a thing. Like I've heard about it in AOS specifically about like
Yeah.
this person who is like constantly doing it to everyone. And yeah, I agree.
yeah. And one of the arguments against the chess clock is that sometimes people can abuse it. So like they'll say, maybe they'll click it over to you without you really paying attention, or maybe they'll do whatever.
But that's
and it's
cheating.
just like it's cheating. That's
Yeah.
directly cheating.
Yeah.
And you think about like
Because I
indirectly
rolled my
cheating-
dice, he might flip my dice, or he might,
Exactly,
tell
right?
me that I picked
Like-
up the wrong amount of dice. Like, you could cheat in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and you have to think about like it's way easier to cheat by taking too much time when there's no chess clock
Yeah.
than it is to cheat by mismanaging a chess clock directly.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that I like played against a slow player and kind of got burned because of it is countless in tournament games.
Right.
The amount of times that I've been like somewhat cheated on the chess clock is once ever
Wow.
in a game.
I didn't even expect it would be that high.
Yeah, and it was like one time in one game. It wasn't constantly.
Oh,
And then I've like kind of heard of it happening elsewhere, but it's like if you have someone that's just watching the game, then it's really easy to catch.
right.
So it's not a huge deal. I know that War Machine used to have like extremely strict chess clock and mandatory chess clock rules where like if you hit 0, then that's it, you lose. I don't think it should be that
I agree.
like strict.
Yep.
But there's like, you look at any pack out there, there's probably a chess clock section for if both players agree to use one. There's pretty universally agreed upon rules for how to use a chess clock and like what happens if you clock out and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I think it doesn't take a lot to really become proficient with a chess clock. So
And they're really
Yeah.
cheap.
yeah,
Like my son and I use a chess clock for chess, and it's actually fun. I actually think it's really fun. I think the issue with chess clocks a lot of the time is people like perceive a slight or like some kind of implication of aggressive, sort of contentious play where there is none. You know what I mean? It's like, let's
Yeah.
use a chess clock, because like sometimes the person who wants to use the chess clock is so that they are not using too much time. Like I play a horde
Yeah.
army. I want to make sure I'm not screwing you over. Let's use a chess clock and let's make sure. And
Yeah.
and then the person on the other end is like, when it's not phrased that way, or sometimes it's not even true. Like sometimes like someone's playing giants and it's like, okay, I want to be able to, use the same amount of time as you. And then it's like, okay, well, like, but I'm not gonna slow play you, bro. And it's like, that's not what I was talking about. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that we both get the same amount of time, because that's fair. Like,
yeah,
if you had like, it's like the same in chess, right? But
yeah. The issue too is that like no two armies are the same, and you have some armies that aim to win in turn 2, and you have some armies that aim to grind it out until turn 5, and
Right.
those are both sponsored by GW. They created armies that intentionally do those things.
Yep.
Right? You take an army like Skaven or Tzeentch that wants to be like tricky playing the entire game, and it's probably going to win in like turn 4 or 5 instead of turn 2 or 3.
right.
I am one of the people that is like the least impacted by slow players, because there's a decent chance that if I'm going to win that game, I'm just going to run over them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like I play an army that's capable of doing that. Some people don't, and that's totally fine. But if you have someone who is consistently playing an army that needs to win in like turn 4 or 5, they're going to face way more of these people who take way too much time in a tournament. And I think
Right.
those are the people that, yeah, they get burned. And those are the people that they should be using a chess clock in the first place, because if you need to play 4 or 5 turns of a game, you want to make sure that you're not taking too much time from your opponent. But
Right.
yeah, it's really, I really wish chess clocks were more normalized. It's especially because like it's a tournament. I think there's some people that are like, I'm just coming here to have a good time. And it's like, you could get 5 friends together in your basement and have a good time too. Like something in you wants to compete by being here, right?
Yep.
Um,
And sometimes it's competing in painting, but if
Yeah.
that's the case, then maybe just use a chess clock and don't worry about whether you're winning or losing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I really wish that chess clocks were mandatory for tournaments, and I think that they're becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And I think that if you're averse to using a chess clock, I would recommend like just doing it even in a practice game.
Yeah.
But you can actually set up a chess clock such that it doesn't count down, it counts up. And that way you can
Oh,
see, I'm
right.
not going to, I haven't run out of time because that feels bad just getting to 0 in a practice game.
Yeah.
But just see how long it takes you to play your game, and then think about like, on average, how long am I taking? And then when you get to a tournament, like, is it okay that you're taking that much time to play your games, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, ideally you should be trying to finish your game on time because it's just respectful to your opponent and respectful to the TO, so that they don't have to stand over your table and kind of help you come to a decision. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think the other issue too, like Ludivicus makes a good point. There's advantages and disadvantages to a clock. GW seems to think that not having an equal amount of time is okay, and the game should come to a natural conclusion. But the issue, like with that, is like in a store, totally true. But like, you know what I mean? Like the when you're playing in a tournament, though, you know, you should have an equal amount of time to play the game. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem super fair. I feel like chess clock should be one of those things where it's like, if either player wants it, then it should automatically become used. Because
Yeah.
that one person, like the person who's trying to use the chess clock, is looking for things to be fair. And the person, and it's not that the other person is looking for things to be unfair. It's that they're not worried about it. And I think we should err on the side of things being fair, if that makes sense, you know? But
Yeah.
it's such a weirdly contentious thing too. Like I literally used it with, you know, a chess clock with my son playing chess when he was like 8. It doesn't have to be contentious. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I ran out of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And like chess is like a professional like sport, they call it, right? Where people make like millions of dollars playing chess, and it's super respected and very, 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 very competitive. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also no better flex on your opponent than like clicking the clock over to yourself and being like, I gotta go take a dump, and then just leaving for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need these 10 minutes. I need to poop.
I need to poo much more than I need these 10 minutes. I need these 10 minutes, but I need them over there in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny is like, I always forget to click over the clock. I thought you were going to say a great flex is clicking the clock over for your opponent. You know what I mean? Like when they inevitably forget, like I do.
Oh no, I mean that's just a respectful thing to do.
That's just like a normal thing. Yeah,
like,
I do too. But like, it's usually my son doing it for me because I'm usually the one who's thinking about their move. So.
Yeah, exactly. The Luna Wolf says the opens give a time map that is split evenly, not enforced with the clock. That's true. I've been to 2 out of the 3 opens this year, and I've been to the World Championships a couple times. Like, they do that for sure.
Okay.
Thing is, though, is that most of the time, like these big announcements happen.
Yeah.
People aren't really paying attention. Or you hear it and you're like, cool. Or you hear it and you're like, gee, we should speed up. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of works. It's like kind of a you should speed up sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
You know, at the end of the day, if someone is going to be thinking about each and every one of their decisions for like 10 minutes, they're going to do it regardless of GW announcing milestones.
Right.
So,
well, and I'm not like even a tournament player, but like, so like, I would rather lose the game than like take too much time. So like, I'm the kind of person who's just like, I'll just pick this because I just want to make sure that my opponent is not, you know, secretly angry at me and just freaking just fuming over in the corner because I've taken too long to pick my battle tactic back when you needed to do that kind of thing. But like for me too, like I think a chess clock would stop me from gabbing too much. I'm very loquacious. Like I would, you know, and like I would be going there largely for like that kind of social fun kind of thing. But if I'm on the clock, you know what I mean? I'm you know, like, oh man, yeah, this weather is crazy, you know, and stuff like that. But or just having fun and just chatting with them. But if I'm on the clock, that, you know, I'll be like, oh well, I can talk to them at the end, you know, and that might just make a big a difference for me. So
yeah, I mean, there's been times I remember at Worlds, an example where I clicked the clock over to myself and I told my opponent an anecdote about like something.
Nice.
And because I knew that, you know, based on the state of the game, I was like, we won't need this. It's fine. Like,
right. Yeah.
So it's yeah, Alex brings up a good point too. Like, it's a physical representation of how much time you have left, and sometimes you're like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I don't need to rush. I can sit and think for a bit. And I distinctly remember doing that at P&W Masters against Matt Beasley, where I had like 50 minutes left on my clock or something like that. And my gut instinct was to do a certain thing, but I was like, you know what? I need to just sit and think. And I just like paced around the table, had the clock on my time, just like sitting there thinking, like just planning out my turn. And that's a really important thing to have too. So like it's got more benefits than just making sure that you don't use too much time. It's nice to see exactly how much time you have left.
I agree. And I like what Dan just said too. Clocks mean I don't feel guilty taking 5 minutes to make a tricky decision. That's such a great point. Like that would actually, I think they would help me. Like even when I'm like on stream or something like that, like thinking about like when I'm on stream, I'm just like, I gotta decide right now what to do. And like, you don't like, someone else can entertain the stream and I can just think about it for a second, Yeah, that's so true. By the way, Dan, I still have your models. So come get them, or I will eat them.
Yeah. So my 5-minute rant turned into a 15-minute rant, but or 12-minute rant.
But like, it was interesting. Like, I really appreciated the chat, kind of, like chiming in, and it was a very lively discussion. I know everyone. It's weird to me how contentious it is, but. I like everyone was being respectful and cool about it. Also, Dan said earlier, I asked my opponents who are hesitant the same thing. Do you think it's fair that you get half the time? Are you okay if I take 2 hours and you only get 1? Because I have a slow army. It's like, that makes it, it's a good point. So it's kind of what I was saying earlier. Maybe he's replying to that. I'd pay to see you eat them. They look delicious. They're very colorful, Dan. Hurry up, man. Like, time is ticking. Liam's playing Nighthaunt now, by the way. I'm talking to Dan because we were talking about how he was playing Soulblight earlier. Just having a public conversation. Don't mind me. Oh man, I forget what I was going to say. But yeah, it was very interesting. I appreciate your rant. Thank you for ranting. Yeah, so. We're going to head out pretty soon. Man, I thought there was like an announcement, but I'm forgetting. Oh, actually, I wanted to just say, like, thank you to everyone. This is like, I meant to say this at the start, but I'll say it at the end. Thank you to everyone who's been reviewing the dice on the Etsy shop. It's really great. And like right now it's kind of hurting because the tariffs like have come out with the States. So like you can't even buy shipping through Etsy anymore. It's really wacky. So I'm thinking of maybe doing something toward that, to encourage maybe some Canadians and some other people. But because like, it's just like, I'm not even sure if you can buy them right now on Etsy. I would really appreciate if someone from the States could check it, see if you even can order, through them. I'm not even sure how it works right now. They've been very, they've been kind of obfuscating like how exactly it works. Like, we're here to support you, and they do absolutely nothing to support you. Like, it's like the opposite. Anyway, but thank you so much. Like, it means a lot. Like, I actually posted on Instagram today of just, showing how many people have been kind enough to take the time to leave reviews. It really does mean a lot. The meat dice are awesome. I don't know if they're the best. They're all pretty awesome. The meat dice make great wound counters, though. So, yeah, I don't know when we're going to be streaming our next game in September. We have yet to plan it out, but hopefully we'll figure that out pretty soon. I don't think we have any plans specifically for next week. Maybe I'm wrong.
Not specifically for next week, but there's one thing I want to shout out. I haven't even told Rob yet, actually, because I'm going to be the one doing all the stuff for it.
Okay.
This Friday,
at
6:30 p.m.
Yes.
PST,
yes,
we are going to be live streaming the draft for the
cool.
the big Canada-wide team tournament that's happening
neat,
in the Canada Discord.
Yeah,
so all the captains are going to get together and like pick their people, and we're going to basically be showing like the captain's draft for.
Wow, cool,
yeah.
cool. I won't be there to see it, but I'll watch the replay. I'll watch it later. Yeah, or maybe how long is it? Do you think?
I don't know, maybe an hour or probably 2 hours or so. So yeah.
Right on. Maybe I'll catch the end. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, tune in at that time. Otherwise, yeah, nothing big planned. So
awesome. Very good. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.